Would it be cool to bring another piece of hardware to Athens? Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to my goals, really my goal was just this year to come in, be as consistent as I possibly could, and just help our team win football games. And at the end of the day, if I can do that and help our team win more games, that's really all that. That's the most important thing to me.
Hey, Jake, good to see you today.
Good to see you.
On Mark's question just a little bit, how much do you know about Ray Guy as a punter?
I know that Ray Guy was a very good punter. That's my knowledge behind it probably is not what everybody would expect and what it probably should be, but I know that Ray Guy was a very, very good punter, very respected punter. So
he's a Georgia native.
Really? That's good stuff right there. You like to see that? Okay.
All right, thanks, man.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to Chip Towers and followed by Connor Riley.
Yeah, Jake, just curious your impressions of Scott Cochran as being the primary special teams coordinator. What do you know about him now that maybe you didn't know at the beginning of the year? And just what's he like to play for as a position coach, as it were?
Coach Cochran is he's great to play for. He's someone who came in and you kind of have no idea what you're expecting. You really don't know what you're going to get out of it. Especially him coming from a strength guy background. You really just kind of like, all right, I guess we're just going to see how this goes. And it's turned out to be really great. I think he's done just a really good job. He does a really good job handling our room. I think he's a really great coach. So I've really enjoyed, getting to be a player under him. So it's been a good time. It's been a lot of fun so far.
If I could follow, does his strength coach background manifest itself in any way?
It's his strength coach background. I personally think that it's really interesting because I can, and a lot of the specialists can really pick apart his brain a little bit to kind of see different things that he thinks about and that he does. So it's really cool to see like the different knowledge that he has so that we can try and apply that to our game and try to use that to further our skills.
Thank you.
Hey, Jake, when you're in there, when it's third down, what is going through your mind? Are you expecting to punt? Are you trying to get in the mindset that you're going to have to go out there and punt? Are you rooting to get in the game to go punt? When Georgia's offense is on third down, what's sort of going through your mind there on the sidelines?
Well, I never hope that our offense doesn't convert third downs. I mean, obviously, if our offense is converting third downs, then we're playing good football and we got a really good shot at winning games. But on third down, the position that I'm in, I just have to be ready. I have to be prepared, really for anything, any situation. So just making sure that I'm prepared and in the right mindset, have the mindset that, you're going to go in and punt. But, at the same time, are you rooting to go out there? Not necessarily, because that means that the rest of the guys on the field, wouldn't have come through. And you really want the guys on the field to come through for you because, those are my teammates and I want them to do great. So.
All right, let's go to Jed May, followed by Mike Griffith.
Hey, Jake. Instead of punting, I want to ask you about fake punts. One, is that something y'all practice every week, or is that more of an opponent, specific thing that you might see on film? And two, what are your strengths as a potential guy running a fake punt, whether throwing or running?
When it comes to fakes, it's interesting. I've got one fake, in the book from the Sugar Bowl last year. And I guess you could say I got shoestring tackled pretty bad. So running, I don't know if that would be my strength necessarily. Throwing wise, I've got a decent arm for baseball, but throwing the football wise, it kind of just depends. I don't know if I really have the cannon, that guys have. Like, when you picture someone throwing a ball, like I picture a guy like Matthew Stafford, the guy that can throw the ball probably the entire length of the field. I am in no way, shape, or form like a Matthew Stafford. So that's what I got to that one.
Thanks.
Hey, Jake, how do things change for a punter in a cold weather game? It would seem the football might not feel the same way. Do you wear gloves? Do you have to prepare yourself mentally? It would just seem like every article of clothing that you would put on might interfere a little bit more.
Cold weather is just it's a part of the game. It's something that just kind of comes with playing football, and a lot of people get a lot more excited when the colder weather comes, because that's when a lot of people get excited when fall comes, because the weather starts to cool down a little bit and it really just kind of starts to feel like football season. I think it's just like that in the winter too. When it gets real cold outside, like now you're starting to think about like this is what the guys like when they play for the Packers. This is what the Packers playing a lot. This is what guys up in New England playing a lot. I think it's a cool thing. Playing in the cold is something that it's exciting. It presents its challenges here and there. With different I guess elements. But it's exciting. I enjoy it.
Okay, we got time for a couple more questions. Let's go to Jake Rowe, followed by Austin Roper.
Jake, when you look at the way the special teams have kind of performed this year, as far as the punting goes, kind of who's other than you, obviously you have a big role there, but who's kind of been your MVP there, the guy that we may not notice so much, but kind of does a lot of things for you guys in that aspect, and it's kind of played well?
I mean, I think that really everybody that's been on our punt team has done a tremendous job this year. Whether it's our snapper, Moat, snapping the ball, whether it is, like a guy like Tyson Campbell as a gunner running down the field and helping force a fair catch. Like all the guys on our team have done a really good job this year. So if there's any kind of sort of unsung heroes, I literally would just say it's the punt unit, just the whole punt unit as a whole. Just guys coming and willing to work, and we all want the same goal and we all want the same outcome. So we're just all trying to work for each other.
Hey, Jake, just to follow up a little bit on Mike's question, how often do you practice punting in cold weather conditions? I mean, when it gets to December and January, are you practicing more inside? Are you still practicing outside? And does that affect, have you noticed it affect your hang time or your distance in any way when you're kicking in the cold?
Being able to practice in the cold kind of just depends on what the weather decides to be for the day. Whatever day it is, when we're punting at practice, we're going to go punt outside and we're going to get our work in outside. So, if it's pouring down rain, we'll be out there punting a little bit. If it's super cold, -10 degrees, we'll be out there punting a little bit, kicking a little bit. So it really just kind of depends what the weather is, when we're in Athens, because we can't really that's not something we can control necessarily. We can't, as much as we would like to make it the exact conditions of every single game for practice, it's not really something that's in our hands. But that's just something that kind of just depends on a day-to-day basis and what the weather presents itself to for us. And when it comes to regards of hang times and distances and all that kind of stuff, could it have an effect on it? Yeah, a little bit, but just going out there trying to hit the best ball I possibly can.